So I'm going to share something that I do not think is talked about enough when it comes to parenting. One of the biggest contributors to the increase in my mental health and well-being, like it being better, was when I stopped nursing my son, my second son. Now, my first son was nursed for a year. This one was nursed for 10 months. And the entire process was incredibly difficult for me. Now, it's difficult in a bunch of different levels. One, towards the end, he started biting. That little boy lost his darn mind. He lost. I was like, oh, so you want to fight. But anyway, I digress. Also, people don't talk about the aspect of the loss of autonomy. One, you lose a significant amount of autonomy as a parent anyway, but as a breastfeeding parent, you lose a significant amount of autonomy, and that can incredibly impact your mental health. And this is how it impacted me. One, I had a consistent sense of anxiety when it came to making sure not only I was feeding my son and he was getting enough, but also making sure I was pumping for when I returned to work. I needed to make sure I had some aspect of a freezer stash. And then anytime I was away from him, I had this significant anxiety. They're like, oh, just use your freezer milk. Also, people, please don't consistently tell individuals who are breastfeeding, can't you just grab stuff out of the freezer? You have no idea how much time and energy is spent just pumping that 4 ounces. Instead of sleeping, everyone else would be sleeping. I would be pumping. Everyone else would be doing something enjoyment. I got to pump in 2 hours. I have had to pump during meetings. I have had to pump during calls. I can't be out for more than 3 hours because I have to come home and pump. The anxiety of thinking like, oh, well, I want to go out and have fun with my friends, but is this event worth the 4 ounces in the freezer? That's a significant aspect of anxiety. Also, the stress of being the only person who can feed your child. That means you always have to have hands on deck. Meaning like my husband helped out with a significant amount of stuff. And when we wanted to expand the span of time and he'd be like, yeah, just give me the baby for a couple hours. I'd be like, oh, I can give you the baby for 2 because then I have to nurse them again. The aspect of sensory overload of consistently being touched all the time and feeling touched out, that actually significantly contributed to me being more stressed out. Always having to schedule around it, and pumping and nursing are not the same thing. I hate the breast pump, and that heifer hates me too. We already understand. We see each other. I don't F with her. She don't F with me. That was annoying. Having to consistently clean pump parts, being exhausted, the significant stress of what I was putting in my body all the time. Sometimes I wanted the freedom to treat my body terribly. I don't want to drink the water. I don't want to eat the avocado. I just want to sleep. A lot of times I wanted to choose sleep over eating. I wanted to have sleep for dinner, but I couldn't because then I would impact my milk. The most single change in my milk supply, with it going up or down, even an ounce. What did I do wrong? What did I do? Did I not eat enough? Did I not drink enough? Oh my God, I'm starving my child. The breast is best thing will get you knocked out. Fed is best. If my baby would have ate a slice of pizza, I would have chucked that joint to him. Okay, people really do not understand when they make these statements. I never realized how much anxiety and stress I would have over my child's weight. And we're still dealing with that because he's smaller than he needs to be. So I want you to, anytime you want to have a comment about parenting overall to a person, don't. But especially with weight. Sometimes people would comment, oh, he's so small, he's so little. That would stress me out. And it does seem like a very, no one meant any harm by it, I'm sure. However, we're dealing with a lot. The amount of stuff that goes into, thinking of your child's weight. So I want to say fed is best. And I want to say for everyone who was exhausted and touched out and is stressed out about whether or not anyone else is feeling, oh, this is such a beautiful experience with breastfeeding. I didn't feel that way. Yeah, I liked cuddling my child, but I would have chucked him to somebody else so somebody else could feed him so quickly. Doesn't make me love him any less. It was just a lot. And I will say that the second he was able to have another eating option, I gave that to him. Do you know why? Because what is best for the mental health of me as the mom is what's best for my child. So if it's best for my well-being not to breastfeed, then that's what's best for my child. Because I am the parent. And my well-being and mental health is going to directly impact my child. And that's just science. because depressed moms and anxious moms and stressed out moms are unable to engage with their children in the way that their children deserve. So if you find that your mental health is being significantly and negatively impacted by breastfeeding, I want you to know that you need to tell your medical professionals and find another way. Fed is best. And if anyone tells you that breast is best, instead of just acknowledging your mental health and well-being, doctor's orders. If anyone says breastfeeding is free, both of them, doctor's orders. Breastfeeding is only free if you consider the time, energy, and mental health of a woman to be worthless. Breastfeeding is priceless. Priceless. That's the better word. Okay? Invaluable and priceless. So, I just wanted to share that. Biggest contributor to my mental health. Putting these Jones away. Get out of here, honey. Chuck that bottle at him.